Good evening, everyone. This is the last part of our chapter, Control and Coordination. Now we will see the some important hormones and their functions in the human body. First, we will see the endocrine gland and hormones and their different functions. So we have something called as a hypothalamus. It releases the hormones. Some functions of the hypothalamus is that it stimulates the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is also called as the master gland, the gland that controls other hormones and other hormonal glands. So the hypothalamus stimulates the pituitary gland to release hormones. What are the hormones it releases? It releases growth hormones. The hormones releasing factor stimulates the pituitary gland to release the growth hormone. Okay. So, and then we have in pituitary gland something called as growth hormone, which stimulates the growth and development of the body. So there is something called as dwarfism. Dwarf means short. So dwarfism will be in those in whom there was a deficiency of the growth hormone in childhood. The growth hormone did not come out in sufficient amounts in the childhood, so the person became a dwarf. So this is a dwarf. Dwarf means small height. So for that person, the hormones, the growth and development hormone has not come out properly, so the person is short in height. Gigantism is a giant. That happens when there is a overproduction of the growth hormones in the childhood, so person will be very tall. Okay. Now there is another thing that we need to study, and that is endocrine gland and hormones. So we will study about another very important gland called as the thyroid gland, which produces thyroxine. What is the function of the thyroid gland? It regulates carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism for balanced diet, and iodine is essential for the synthesis of thyroxine. See, we keep hearing that the salt has iodine. What is the function of iodine? Iodine is essential for synthesis of thyroxine. Iodized salt provides iodine. So deficiency of iodine, okay, what is the problem if there is a deficiency? If there is a deficiency of iodine, it causes something called as a goiter. This is a goiter. Okay, swollen neck is the main symptom. This swollen neck is the symptom of goiter. Iodine rich foods are yogurt, mozzarella, milk, eggs, etc. So if you eat yogurt, if you eat mozzarella, milk, drink milks and have eggs, you will have sufficient iodine in your body to avoid something called as a goiter. Then the seaweed, the cranberries, navy beans and the strawberries. Okay. Deficiency of iodine causes something called as a goiter. So swollen neck is the main symptom. Okay. Endocrine gland and hormone. Now there is another organ in the human body called as pancreas. Pancreas secretes something very important. It secretes insulin. Okay. So what does insulin do? Important question. It can be asked in exam. Explain the function of insulin. Why insulin is important? Insulin will regulate the blood sugar level. Okay. In our blood, we have certain amount of sugar in it. So what happens is that our blood sugar level should be nominal, or it should be at some certain level at all times. Okay. Then only it makes sense. If it increases, that means less insulin is being produced. So pancreas will produce something called as insulin that regulates the blood sugar level. Deficiency of insulin, if less insulin is produced in the body, what happens? It will cause a very serious disease called as diabetes. Okay, so the sugar level in the blood will increase. So deficiency of insulin causes diabetes. Such patients are given insulin injections. So if in the human body normal or nominal amount of insulin is not been produced, then injection needs to be given in the human body for insulin, so that the nominal amount of insulin is present in the human body, and disease such as diabetes can be uh, avoided. Okay, I hope this concept is clear. Okay, now let us see some more important hormones and their function in the male body. We have testis in the male. In the testis, testosterone is produced. So what is testosterone? What is the function of testosterone? Testosterone changes during puberty. So development of male sex organs and the behavior, all these things come up. So in the human body, testosterone levels are important. They should be high. They are very important for the development of the entire man's sex organs and other development as well. Okay, like the pubic growth, pubic hair growth, the genitals development, the facial hair, the voice break, the growth spurt, axillary hair, the body hair, etc. All this is impacted by the growth of testosterone, and testosterone production takes place in the testis of the human body, of the male body, testis. Okay, now let us see the next hormone that we see is being produced in ovaries of the female. It is called the estrogen. Estrogen, again, it brings about the changes during puberty, same as the testosterone that brings changes in the male body. Now, development of female sex organs are done due to estrogen. It regulates the menstrual cycle, etc. Okay, hips broaden, periods start, pubic hair grows, genitals develop. For human, for a woman, her breasts will be developed due to this estrogen, and auxiliary hair will be produced. Okay, so these are the changes that comes across in both male and female due to the hormones being released in testosterone and estrogen. Okay, now let's move ahead. Oh, there's nothing left, so the chapter is completely over. I hope this session that we covered, the 3 video session that we covered, was sufficient for students to understand the concept of control and coordination. If I have to summarize certain important questions and or topics that should be studied for this chapter, it can be the neuron drawing. Start with the neuron drawing, understand the drawing, understand the parts, the structure of neuron, the different parts it functions, because that is often asked in exam. Then study about the reflex arc. You should be able to explain and or write about it for 2 marks. What is reflex arc, how it happens. Then the human brain, hind brain, the forebrain, the midbrain, 3 different parts. What is the function of cerebellum? It is useful for maintaining posture in human body. Cerebrum, and all the different parts, the pons, the medulla, etc. Then we should also be aware of the different hormones that are present in the plant, auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, what they do, what are their functions, etc. And in the end, the different hormones that are released in the male body and the female body, all the hormones, what are their function, what is the master gland, pituitary gland, all these things are what is important for this chapter. And if you study this chapter thoroughly, yes, this is scoring, you can score good marks in this. I wish all my students all the very best for this chapter. I really hope our 3 video sessions were sufficient for students to understand this chapter. Thanks a lot, everyone.